Well, a lot of people don't really realize that steroids or performance enhancing drugs have been around for many, many years. There have been different variations of what they could take. They know the rules of what they can't take, and they try to manipulate it by going around it or find something that's similar to what they need to get accomplished. And it's always some new drug that comes around every year that pretty much has a similar quality to something that's banned. And then they'll go and say, well, this is what we're going to take. And when they go and look at these medicines and get them approved, the people who are the judges of them are not in the know that these are pretty much copycat drugs of the banned substances. You know, we have a lot of this going on in the sport, and then when they come back with these negative tests and they're getting by, everything's good, but then when you start using Olympic style drug tests, then everything comes up. And now the game has changed. But other people mysteriously, for certain reasons, seem to have an agenda to try to promote performance enhancing drugs, but they have to do it slightly because it's a slippery slope. And I'm gonna let you guys hear something that Jim Lampley don't want you to hear. Okay? This was done on Hikari Kanako's website, HikariTakano.com, the Japanese guy. Why was he doing this interview with this guy about a subject he could never talk about on HBO? Listen to him.
So that people don't miss it. My take is, if you live in a society where people take a pill to boost or alter their appetite, to boost or alter their mood, to boost or alter their sex drive, or any other of a number of different purposes for which people take medication, how can you say to athletes, you're not like us, you're different, you can't do what the rest of us all do? Do I think that a singer has sold me short if he gargles with mouthwash or some other medication before he goes onto the stage to sing? No, he didn't sell me short. He didn't compromise his performance because he used some enhancement to boost it. But athletes seem to be in a completely separate category, and it is identified as cheating for them to do what appears to be natural for everybody else in the world to do, which is to take advantage of science to boost your performance. I'm not saying that I condone performance enhancement. I'm just saying it's fascinating how hypocritical this society is in the way that it treats athletes as opposed to every other kind of performance.
But it's not going to go away, though, is it?
No, it's never going to go away because this has been around for more than 30 years. When I first went to the Summer Olympics in 1976, on my first day at the Montreal Olympics in 1976, I was taken to a meeting with the American hammer throwers and shot putters and discus throwers. And very candidly, 2 or 3 of them, asking for secrecy and confidentiality, of course, told me about their dosages, told me what they were taking, told me how it worked and why it worked, etc., etc., and also told me, incidentally, everybody from the Eastern Bloc is doing it, that's why we have to do it. So that was 32 years ago. Media constantly focus on an individual case. Clemens, Bonds, Marion Jones. That's not looking at the forest for the trees. There's a giant commercial pipeline here. There are thousands of people all around the globe who are involved in that pipeline. They come from every level of sports, from executives down to trainers and hangers-on. And they're all a part of a big distribution pipeline which distributes hundreds of millions of dollars worth of performance-enhancing substances every year. You think that's going to go away because one big athlete gets busted? Of course not. It's here to stay.
Tennis players are getting busted now.
I tell all my friends, if you want to love sports in the 21st century, if you want to continue that romance that you've had all of your life, get rid of your naive romantic notions about getting rid of performance enhancement, getting rid of those drugs, because they are here to stay.
They are here to stay. You heard that? You see? And you think this thing is just about some Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather and he's paranoid about taking the test? Then you just heard the man tell you there is a huge commercial pipeline that's going on from executives, everything down the pipe. This is what they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know this. They want you to stay naive and just think about Manny Pacquiao and he's the only one that's like a suspect and he's innocent and all these supplements are coming through. He just gave you a breakdown basically on what's going on. Who informed him? And why is he not talking about it on HBO? Why he's not talking about it on American television? Why is he doing it on this low of a scale? A lot of questions, no answers.